I was part of the force. Long time ago.
No, not that kind of sheriff.
Oh.
The vampire sheriff.
Oh.
He's the prince's enforcer.
Oh.
Oh.
Hello.
That kind of sheriff.
Well, now that I got my temper out, I don't really feel like antagonizing anyone else.
He walks in. He looks at this place and says, "This is a goddamn mess." He said, in with him walks a bunch of people in business suits, who are, Roxanne might recognize as a few members of the venture community, who start
The venture community.
The venture community, who begin walking around and assuring the human people who are crying and bleeding everywhere that everything's going to be all right. They're members of the police task force. Just come with them, and they will deal with everything. He looks at.
About time some of my people got here.
Hey, I talk like that, not you.
No, sir.
He looks around. Says,
about time some of my people got here.
Actually, Will Gillespie would also recognize him as he's in the community in town.
He visits occasionally.
Says, party's a bit wild even for you, isn't it, Carnivore?
It keeps happening, Sheriff. I tell you, I wasn't making up some of these attacks. This is probably fifth one past couple of months.
Nah, those were brawls. You ain't never had a Sabat attack. That's what this is.
I was afraid of that.
Okay. He points at all four of you. Says, "All right, kids. Special orders of His High Holiness. Follow me."
Well, since I'm bleeding from a gaping claw gash against my chest, I just kind of shrug and hobble over.
What? I say, why? I'm assuming is he like the
sheriff is the he's the enforcer under the administration of the prince. He's the some
underboss.
People would call him the prince's lapdog, but others would know he's
the
enforcer. He's the enforcer of the Masquerade, mostly.
He's the underboss.
Underboss.
He's the underboss.
I was thinking like I wouldn't want to like just listen to this guy.
Yeah, I considering your grudge against the prince, totally understandable. But he's like,
you should really come along.
He looks at you and says, "Look, Blackwell, this is probably not the time to be resisting orders."
Fine, but just so you.
Fine, but I won't like it.
Just so you. But fine, but don't expect me to like it.
Fair enough, kid.
I'm going to frown, and I'm not going to accept any ice cream.
Okay. You four can.
Go. Okay. Go ahead. All right.
He's got what? The sheriff walks out, and he's got a basically what looks like a SWAT van or a paddy wagon waiting for you guys.
As I get into the paddy wagon, I am going to state, so any ideas about this sucking chest wound?
Says, "Oh yeah, I got some bandages in the back."
Yeah.
She follows. Wait, he wants everyone to.
Yeah, everyone to pile in.
All right, so Adrian walks up and as she gets in, she's like, "Chocolate is just way too sweet of a treat." She just gets in.
Who the fuck are you?
I say.
She's like shaking her head very dismissively, like everything's wrong.
I say I can't. I say under my breath, but though some others can hear me. I can't believe I'm taking orders from the princess's lapdog.
Yeah, well, and
Well, you got
There's,
two choices. You can stay here, or we could go somewhere that we won't get shot. I like the second option, so I'm going with it.
yeah, like I haven't heard that one before, kid. My
There's,
advice when you encounter his royal presence is probably to shut the fuck up.
one of them still unconscious, buried in a wall. If you want to get some information, try him.
You notice this thing has windows. You notice you're driving west to
Wait, that's east. I want to go this way.
Weast.
I want to go west.
you know what? I don't really need a map for this.
I'm still going west.
I don't need a map for where we're going. All right,
It just zooms out, and we have like the giant heads.
I'm gonna.
Oh
actually
god, I zoomed out too far, and it made everyone really tiny.
take you over to the city map.
Okay, I need to zoom back in. Find my...
Okay. Yeah, that's how I get out of it. Take the turn order out. Okay, there we go. All right. You're headed west towards the University of Richmond campus.
College.
Here.
But he stops at. Actually, yeah, that's about the area he's going to. The prince usually resides in the country club, but
Where certain people aren't allowed.
certain people onto that. But it's very,
Good
it's very conspicuous.
remember.
You, you all enter into a. You are all ushered into a office building near campus, and are ushered up the elevator to the top floor. And the sheriff lets you enter in. Inside, you see. Let's see, how many people? Let's see. That would be. Oh, I have a character list that'll help me better than. All right, you see. 1, 2, 3. You actually see 4 people inside. You see a very dapper looking businessman in the center. You see a balding, not balding, a bald, goateed man in a crimson red suit with a black vest and black tie, and a strange mystical symbol hanging around his neck. You see a very plain-looking woman in a pantsuit,
Nice pantsuit. No.
and you see Fox Fremont, who Caxie recognizes immediately as her mentor, who Adrian Rockman recognizes as her mentor. The businessman in the middle says, "Good. Nearly all the Primogen are here." He frowns and says, "Why isn't Mr. Statler here?" The sheriff says he says he was busy. Fucking Nosferatu. Can't fucking rely on them for anything.
I know it.
And he says, and you brought guests as well. Yeah, you said to bring the witnesses from the nightclub attack. Good, good. All right, I see. Is that Mr. Gillespie?
The one and only DJ Carnivore.
Yes, I did hear you were going by that whimsical name. My condolences on your sire passing away recently. Sorry about that.
She will be missed greatly.
All right. We have. I see we have a few newcomers. He looks at Lorenzo Stone and says, "And you are?"
Lorenzo Stone. I'm new here.
I can see that. What if you don't mind me asking, what exactly is your business arrangement?
What? Oh. I guess you could say I'm just here to find somebody.
Ominous. He turns to Adrian
The less people I get involved, the better.
Says, and you might be?
It's kind of like
Shrugs.
it's like if you put jelly on a toast, it'll always be jelly side up when it falls.
What? he looks very confused, and then he looks at the woman in the pantsuit and says, is she one of yours? And before the woman in the pantsuit can respond, he said, Fox Fremont walks up, says, "Hey, how you doing, kid?
How you doing?
Heard you in a scuffle. I told you to avoid trouble."
Dust likes to get on my shoes.
Yes, it does, kid. Yes, it does. And then he says, "And I see you brought," and he pauses as he looks at Emmett. Miss. Hold on, I forget what you're.
Blackwell, I think.
Mr. Blackwell. Didn't expect to see you so soon.
Cornelius.
Dave. Highly amusing. It's Mr. Valentine to you. As I was discussing with my elder statesman here, we have a bit of a situation. In the middle of him conversing with you guys,
This is the prince, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. His full name is Cornelius.
By the way, everybody notices that I'm like balling my fists up. I'm like practically shaking in fury.
Okay. In the middle of him speaking, the woman in the pantsuit goes up and begins. She first starts.
At least I'm balling up my fist, and my fists are shaking. Yeah.
She starts with. Actually, she's. The woman in the pantsuit goes up to Mr. Emmett Blackwell first, and she begins straightening your tie, and
you don't need to do that.
Yeah. Yes.
I can do it myself.
No. Everything must be straight and orderly, and like this. And she's straightening your tie. And Cornelia, the prince, looks over and says, "Just deal with it. It's her thing. She likes things to be in order." As I was saying, we have a bit of a situation. The Sabbat have not been a presence in the city for over 20 years. I made sure of that.